Okay, I'm going to start this video out by saying you obviously don't need this much stuff to homeschool. I only have this much stuff because it's stuff that I have collected from my older son that's hand-me-downs, as well as just the fact that we homeschool year-round. So we don't take a break except for the week from Christmas to New Year's. We just work at a slower pace, and my kids will cycle through all of this. They obviously won't do all of it every day. This is just stuff that they will use sometime throughout the year. So this is going to be my preschooler's curriculum. He is obviously not going to be doing school every day. He does complain and want to be doing things when his older brother is doing things, though. And so I've chosen to get him his own stuff to do so that he has things to do. If he doesn't do it all, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. They'll still play with the stuff. It'll still be fun for them, so that'll be fine. He will be 2 when we start all of this. He is now almost 22 months. So he will be 2 years old when we start to do these things. And this is a mixture of this section here. There we go. This section here is Timberdoodle's Preschool, which is meant for toddlers, so 2 to 3-year-olds typically. And my son, like I said, will be 2, so most of this will be within his range. Some of it will do closer towards the 3, but we'll see. This one here, this section is the Memoria Press Preschool, which is also meant for 2 to 3-year-olds. We're going to go through this at half speed, so it's going to take us a while to get through it. And then this is just additional stuff that I've picked up over time that we're going to work on and play with and enjoy. So I thought I'd include it in the haul. So we're going to start with Timberdoodle because Timberdoodle is the core of our curriculum. It is what we use first and foremost. This is a mixture of Timberdoodle's kit from 2016, which was last year, because we have it left over from my older son, and then the rest of it is stuff that I ordered that was in my haul video that is from the new 2017 curriculum that I wanted to add on because they were things that I thought that my kids would enjoy, and so I added them on with my kindergarten order so that we could have them on hand. So to start out with, I'm going to try and go by the subjects. I have my books here, by the subjects that they are with. So we're going to start out with the language arts, which is the first one. Hold on, I have to turn to the preschool pages in here. Okay, so from the preschool kit from 2016, we have the jumbo bananagrams. A is for angry replaced G is for goat in the new book. We did not buy G is for goat last year, so we did add this in for this year. This is our preschool manual. The guides I don't stick to exactly, but I do keep them because like this one has all of the lesson plans for the plus blocks, which you'll see in a minute, and the dominoes. And so they're good. They're just, we follow a different schedule. This replaced the complete book and CD of rhymes and chants and such, and I liked this better, so we're going to use this one instead of the other one this school year. This is the My Wonderful Nursery Rhymes collection. It's just got beautiful illustrations and stories. This one is The Owl and the Pussycat and This Old Man, and I thought this was just really nice. From last year's kit that I believe is still in this year's kit, still in this year's kit, is the Montessori Letterworks. What your preschooler needs to know is actually usually in the pre-K kit, but I decided to leave it in the kit, or get it for the preschool kit last year, and we did use it. So these books are actually from the Tot one. I traded them out last year with the ones that come with the preschool one usually, just because with autism, it's harder for my son to focus when the pages are super busy. And so this was a better fit for us last year. And since my younger son has also been diagnosed with autism, I think that this will still continue to be a better fit for him. So we have the very first book of things to spot out and about, the very first book of things to spot, the very first book of things to spot at home. And then we have this one for when they're ready for the little bit busier, which is the Usborne Big Book of Things to Spot. And this one's still not as busy as some of the other ones that are in that series. The first 1,000 Words in English book. My older son didn't really enjoy this one all that much, but my younger son, I figure, might. So we're going to try it again and see what he thinks. And then these are the ABC puzzles in the uppercase here and the lowercase here. And we use these a ton, so we do like those. Next is going to be math. Hold on. Ooh. Sorry. Next is going to be the math. We have pretty much the math from both kits because I did want to add in some of the new stuff. So this is the jumbo math counters and the mat that go with the farmland math, which is this. It comes with this book that tells you all about the activities to do each week, and so we have that one. We have the Montessori number work, which was in last year's kit. And then the mathematical reasoning beginner 1 was in last year's kit. And my other son was able to do this one, so we're this son will also be able to, and so we're going to leave it in. And then this year they included the big book of things to spot in the math section. So we already went over that. And then for math, last year, this was kind of stuck between math and art. This is the dot to dot for tiny tots. And then, like I said, I added the tiny polka dot game, which was from the pre-K kit, but I thought that both of my sons would enjoy it, so both of them will use it. And it has these cards that you match up between the the numbers and the physical signs. So we added that. The next section is thinking skills. So we have the, here it is. Beginning thinking skills. My kids are crazy, sorry. The beginning thinking skills book. I added in these rainbow pebbles, which I showed you in the haul video. They come with a card that you build the things to go with it. The palette of pegs. And then these came with last year's kit as well as this year's kit. This is the day and night, and it comes with a book that tells you how to do it. And the Peekaboo Bunny, which was also in last year's kit, as well as this year's kit. And then the addition to this year's kit was the Cubits Junior, this one. And I really thought that my son would enjoy this, so I went ahead and added that one in. The next section is going to be geography, which last year came with, I'm knocking things over, Montessori map work. So we have that one. And then this year they added in City Block, which we had already got Dino Block, which you'll see in a little while. And so I went ahead and picked up this one because I do like the way that these books go. And they also added this year the What Do People Do All Day, which is a Richard Scarry book. And so we went ahead and picked up this one as well, so that we have all of the books from this year's kit for geography and social studies. And then we also added the pre-K books to this year because I don't know, last year we skipped from preschool to kindergarten. I don't know that we'll do that again this coming year, but I decided that I was going to go ahead and pick these up just in case. This one was also taken out and I didn't want to miss out on it. So this is the Look Inside a Castle. We enjoy the Lift the Flat books a lot, and so So you just lift the flap and find the thing. So I went ahead and picked it up while it was still available. And then this is the Lift the Flap Picture Atlas, which is normally in the kindergarten, in the pre-K kit, but I didn't order the pre-K kit, and I wanted my older son to have it as well. So we got it for both boys to use. And then the What Do Grown-Ups Do All Day, which is also from the pre-K kit, but I thought that both of my boys would enjoy it, so I added it to our kindergarten kit. Next is Science. This is from last year's kit. It's still the primary science for this kit. It is the primary science lab set, and then it comes with the twisty dropper, which fell back here, which I actually already had, so we have like 3 of now, and the color tabs to do the experiments that come with it. And then I also printed out from their website an extra 10 experiments to do with it, and so that will be our physical science activities this year. For fine and gross motor skills, last year was actually called art. This year it's been mixed between the two. It came last year with the floof, which my older son does not like because it sticks to your skin and it's a sensory issue for him. So we didn't use it a ton. I think we may have pulled it out like 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna keep it and let the baby play with it. And see if he enjoys it, but we did replace that with, it fell off, the morph that it was replaced with for this year, except for I got the blue instead of the orange, just because I think that the blue would be a bigger hit with my son. And then also in this category, fine and gross motor skills, was the My First Scissors, which we already have, and I didn't want to go dig them out of the pencil box, but they are in the pencil box. And the dot to dot tiny dots that I already showed you, that one goes back and forth between this and the math category depending on which year you're in. The Gertie ball we bought it. My kids managed to pop it the 3rd time that they played with it, so we don't have it anymore, and I did not order another one because the issue I had with the last one. We have lots of balls. We'll just replace that with that one. And then also in this category is the Let's Cut Paper, the 3-pack. So Let's Cut Paper, Amazing Animals, more Let's Cut Paper, and the regular Let's Cut Paper. I added in the Let's Fold just because it went with the series, so Let's Fold and more Let's Fold. As well as these Color Me activities, which are not open. Let's see if there's, yeah, here, we can show you on the back. But they're just a little activity with a very simple prompt on it that tells you to decorate the lion's mane, or the baby elephant is getting a bath, draw his mama spraying him with water. Draw this monkey some monkey friends, what are they doing? So that's the safari one, and we also got the ocean one. I'd actually wanted the Color Me Our World, and I may still try and find it somewhere, but it's been discontinued by Timberdoodle, and that was the one that I had intended to use as social studies, but these will be good too. They'll be more for art and play, but this is from last year's kit, the Animal Doodles Placement. I don't think it's in this kit. No, it's not. It was just in last year's kit. And my other son doesn't enjoy drawing at all. We're just now getting him to draw things. And so I didn't use it with him. I think that both the boys will probably share this one this year. And then the last things from Timberdoodle is the STEM things, which is what probably is my boy's favorite part of anything. And so that is the plus blocks. This was in both last year and this year's kit, and the instructions are in the curriculum manual. And then the same goes for the dominoes. The instructions are in the curriculum manual. So that is everything that we have from the Timberdoodle preschool kits. This is, like I said, a combination of the 2016 and the 2017. So it has almost all the items from 2017, but a few of them that were discontinued from the previous year. So next is our preschool from Memoria Press. We probably won't start incorporating this until closer till January, is what I'm thinking, and we'll work through it through the entire school year. or through the next 36 weeks. And so this is a 4-day-a-week program. And just as an example, it just has a prayer. Of course, I can't focus because this camera stinks. Let me see. There we go. And then an alphabet lesson, a number lesson, literature and poetry, oral language, fine and motor skills, and gross motor skills. And it's just going to be, literally, it takes like 45 minutes to go through. And each week you pick, it has a book, and all the activities correlate to that book. And so this will go through, and I've already showed you the books that go with it in a previous haul. But I'll just show you real quick. It's just a bunch of board books. So this is the main one you do use the entire time. And then all of these books are just used for 1 week at a time. I could have gotten them from the library, but I did pick these up from thrift books instead. Sorry, being invaded. I did go ahead and pick them up from thrift books instead just to have them because they're board books and the boys will enjoy reading them long afterwards. So. And then these books are books that are additions. They're parts of these series that I bought as sets, but they're just extras. Except for the My First Body book, we're going to use that one for science. We have that whole set, but that's the only one that we don't look at regularly. So there's that one. And then the My First Numbers, Colors, and Shapes is in this pile here. It's part of the actual curriculum, but we also have the animals and the first words. And then the curriculum called for the My First Book, it's down here, the My First Book of Shapes. And I was able to find the box set that also came with numbers, colors, and words. And then I bought separate the My First Book of Animal Homes, which I showed you in another book haul, so we'll just use those throughout the school year. Now these are the things that we'll just use intermittently. They're not specifically for any time frame or curriculum. They're just things that we have found, that I've found since I've been buying curriculum and I liked. This is the Amazing Alphabet Feel and Fit Shape books. It just has each letter of the alphabet and an item that starts with it, and these are textured. So like there's a line that goes around it. Yep, see, my boys have already played with it and torn it up because that's what my boys do. But like this prints fits into the head of the lion so that the book lies flat. This is the My ABC of God Loves Me. So this is a big kind of what he uses for his Bible type lessons. Just has each letter of the alphabet. This is actually from Ross. Yeah, Ross. And it was only $4.99. I really liked it. For handwriting, which he doesn't really have to do handwriting, but for pencil control, we have the Tracing Grow to Know, which just has like little maze puzzles, very basic ones. And then the pen control and tracing book from Wipe Clean. Oop, my kids are fighting again. We have the Let's Learn Colors and Shapes for 2 and up. These I've showed you in another haul, so I'll link it below, but I don't want to flip through the pages. It was in my Rainbow Resources haul. But it's the Usborne First Sticker Book Nature, the Let's Learn Numbers, the First Sticker Book Castles. Slow and Steady Get Me Ready we've been using since birth with both of the boys, so we'll just continue to do that one activity a week. And then this one, I'm not even sure where I found it, but it was on a shelf in my office, and I found it, and I thought that he would enjoy just doing this. This is the first 100 words sticker book, so it matches with the first 100 words here. And so we'll just match up the stickers with the other items. We have just a book for fun reading, Puff the Magic Dragon. This is the dino block that I told you went with the other castle block. The little blue truck to work on animal recognition and animal sounds. This is the Little Explorers Animal World, which is a lift the flap that I showed you in the other one. So you just go through and lift them up, and it tells you a little thing about that animal. This is the book I was telling you about in the other video, The Little Presidents, a Presidential Primer, and it just has a little bit of information, like that's grant, very little bit of grant information. And then we also have the Pioneer primer as well. And then these I also showed you in the other one. This is the Walk This World, and A is for America. For alphabet recognition, we have this lacing alphabet game that they'll be able to put in alphabetical order. We have the large alphabet magnets, which I'll use first for just uppercase recognition. And then when he's got those down, we'll add in these, which is the uppercase, lowercase, and numbers all together. This is a little game from Target's Dollar Spot. Let's say it was $3. But it comes with these felt cards that have the number and these on the back, and it has 1 through 10, and then it counts by tens from then. So after 10 it's 20, 30, 40, so on and so forth through 100. And that's what I used to teach my older son how to count to 100, and so we'll do the same thing with the baby. These are just something I picked up, it's the same thing that was in my son's stocking for Christmas, and he's just never got around to playing with it. So it's just the numbers and shapes. I'll have fun in the fridge with that. These are the lacing cards I was talking about. They're the animal lacing cards from, oh, look at that, the Target Dollar Spot. Can you tell where I buy a lot of my stuff from? I think he also got these for Christmas, and so he'll use those. This is the Melissa and Doug one through 20 math matching. He does learn 1 through 20 throughout the curriculum this year, and so by the end of it he should be able to do all of those matchings. So that's just be a little extra added thing to play with. And then some extra STEM things, because like I said, these are my son's favorite things. This is the Magnaformers, my first Magnaformers that I showed in the Rainbow Resources Hall, that comes with the cards to show you things to build and such. And then this one actually was my older son's Christmas present, but he's gotten bored with it already, so I've moved it to the baby's homeschool stuff. But it's just a gear starter set, same idea, it's just for STEM activities. So, like I said, this is a lot of stuff, and I doubt we'll get through all of it this school year. As far as, I don't expect the boys to memorize everything that's in their curriculum or anything like that. It's just to have things to do and ways to change it up so that they continue to be interested in doing it. We are lucky enough to be able to have all of these things, and so we do, but you could definitely just pick a few from each subject and use those. But I just wanted to include everything so you guys could get ideas of what works for different subjects and different age groups. So that's everything for the preschool kit, and now I'm going to lay out the kindergarten and go ahead and show that one to you. Thanks for watching, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to keep seeing videos from us. Thank you.